Roll Tide, everybody. Welcome to the Cover Crimson postgame show. Alabama, a winner, shutout winner today. We're going to get into that. We're going to take your calls. It was a 34-zip victory over Mizzou. So Bama's college football playoff hopes are still alive, and we're going to get into all that today. First half wasn't great. Second half was dominant. Got to take your hat off to Kane Womack. Yeah, I know the Missouri Tigers were an injured Tiger, but still, you shut out a team that was 6-1 at the time, and you can't take anything away from today's game, not at all. So it was a good win for Alabama, and any win's a good win at this point, right? All right, well, let's get into this. Expect to hear from Clint Lamb coming up. Let's get this show started, folks. Roll Tide. What do you say, everybody? Mick Gillispie, Roll Tide to you as we talk Alabama. And obviously this win for the Crimson Tide, 34-zip. I know some of you guys want to get in on the phones. And let's go ahead and get the phones cranked up. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Win for Alabama, though. And I'll take them any way I can get them. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, Mick, it's Stan from L.A. What's going on, brother?
What's up, Sam? Roll Tide, man.
Roll Tide. I'm just going to do my best Baba Boucher for you right now. Did that right there with the compliments of Captain Insano. finally getting the 34, getting the camp. They had to open up the whoop ass on them one time. A beautiful thing that it wasn't it. So anyway, no, great win. Great win. I'll take it. A lot of good on both sides of the ball, and we needed this. I think this was something that was, a psychological reset for the team, and if they can just, build off this is a good momentum builder, and, still lots out there that they could clean up a little bit, but, like you said, Missouri was kind of hurt, but hey, I'll give it a B plus as far as what's going on. So, we still got a lot of work to do. LSU's not the Missouri Tigers. Mm-mm. So, but we have a chance to adjust and a chance to get some people healed up. And this is big. This was a very big win for us. I think we can reset here, and that's my hope. Is that we have a hope now that we can figure a few things out. Get Milroe healed up. Still think he's a little off. And we can see what happens with with LSU coming up.
Yeah.
So great win. I'll take it. And let's roll with it, baby.
Yeah, Roll Tide, man. Thanks, Sam, for calling in, and have a great Saturday. Now you get to relax a little bit, watch some other games, and you don't have to sit there and worry about sit there and think about how we didn't beat Tennessee. How we didn't beat Vandy, who, by the way, is putting up a pretty good fight against Texas. So maybe Vandy's a lot better than we thought at the time. But I'll take it, man. Like you said, I'll take that win. Thanks for calling in, brother.
I'm lighting up my Padron right now, buddy.
Roll Tide. Yeah, I mean, we might as well get those cigars out, right? I hope we play Tennessee again. I really do. And who knows? If Tennessee and Alabama can take care of business, it would be a great matchup in the college football playoff. I'd love to see Alabama go back to Knoxville and play a much better game. And, I felt like today wasn't their best. I still think Milroe's banged up, but got better in the second half. We saw him distributing the football much better than he did last game. We saw him running the football, which is something that Alabama needed to do. The running game was there today, and I thought that was important for the Crimson Tide as well. And a win that Alabama desperately needing with a week off, and then all of a sudden you start to look at LSU. All right, let's go back to the phone lines again and talk to you guys, as Alabama was a 34-zip winner. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, Nick, it's Iceman.
Ice, baby. What's up, dude?
Not much. I apologize for missing the last couple of weeks calling in. Those phone lines have been busy. But wow, what a good game today. How about that, huh?
I tell you, man, we needed this. I mean, just for our psyche, I thought this was a good win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It looked like a very well balanced game. Like the defense played good, offense played good, special teams. Got a little worried about Jalen Mbakwe back there trying to catch that punt return. I was like, oh no, let's not do this again. I mean, I think we all had like a little mini heart attack on that one. But yeah, I needed to see a game like this just to boost my confidence a little more, especially going into probably my least favorite place to watch Alabama play. Playing in LSU, that's just going to be a rough one. But I think this is a good confidence booster for the team and for all of us. I mean, I wanted to bring this up last week, but what the heck is going on with these refs? Did you see that call that they did at the Texas game last week?
Yeah, they're terrible. I mean, awful.
I have never seen anything like that. None of us have. Like, remember, what was it, 2 years ago where Tennessee fans did the same thing with the golf ball and the mustard and all that?
Yeah.
Because of a bad call, and then they never picked up the flag. But lo and behold, Texas fans do the same thing, and what do?
Yeah, they pulled it.
I mean,
how about the one today where they didn't blow the whistle and the quarterback gets hit and they call a 15-yard penalty? And it's like, they're standing around with their whistles stuck up their ass. It's like, look, it's your job to blow the whistle. The players aren't going to stop until the whistle's blown. Yeah, I'm sorry your quarterback got hit, but you know what? It's your job to take the whistle that's on your neck and put air into it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, exactly. I really don't have words for that. That was just ridiculous. The only word I can come up with is ridiculous. Like these refs are just bad, and I want to see it get fixed. I mean, it seems like the other conferences have a little bit better officiating than we do. But I don't want to focus too much on the negative. I'm really proud of what this team did today. And I'm going to go and hop off the phone so I can go to the Texas game, and maybe Vanderbilt can win that. Who knows?
Hey, let's go. They're driving.
Anyways, Mick, roll tide.
Roll tide, brother. Great to hear from you, Iceman. Good to hear from the Iceman. Always great to see him in the comments section. Look, if you guys want to get right to the front of the line, Super Chats get you there. Tide World Order. Ain't the beer cold, baby? It's always cold when Alabama wins. So, tip of the beer to you, my friends. My man Chuck Thompson made that phrase very famous in the world of Baltimore Colts football and Baltimore Orioles baseball back in the day. The guy wanted to be like one of the great sportscasters, and I know you must know about the Chuckster. Listen, as you guys get on here, comment section, thank you for hanging out with us. Texas with an interception. We'll keep an eye on that one. I don't know if Vandy has enough to get that win, but going back to the phone lines and hearing from you guys, we'll hear from Kalen DeBoer as well, like we do each show. So keep that in mind, and when he's ready, we'll go to him. But who's this and where you calling from?
Hey, Mick, it's Adam calling from Georgia. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Adam? How you doing, brother?
All right, great to talk to you. I'll be brief, but, and this is the last time I'm going to say this because I don't want to get any more hate. But last week, after Tennessee, everybody said Nick Sheridan's game plan was terrible. And then they said Milroe was banged up. Just like in the past, they've blamed Tommy Rees and everything under the sun for Milroe's bad performances. Milroe was not good today. He was not good in the last 3 weeks. And we will not win with him. And we will lose to LSU. And we would lose to Georgia, to Texas, and to any other team that had even the semblance of a defense. This game today was played against a team whose quarterback was out and had a lifeless offense. And I am so sick and tired of Jalen Milroe, and I can't wait till he leaves because we have 2 losses now, and the guy is not progressing. And I hate to say this because, I love Alabama football. I graduated from Bama. But fans have a tendency to want to believe this fantasy that he can be something that he isn't. And, Mick, I sometimes I wonder why that is. And maybe you can help me out because I think he's as bad as he was last year and will not get us anywhere near a national championship.
Man, I don't know what to think, man. I mean, I feel like he's banged up, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, there's really, it's hard to tell because, they haven't put it in the injury report. Some people feel like that mentally right now he's lost a lot of confidence. He's seeing a ton of blitzes, and he's going to have to do a better job of picking those blitzes up, or they're going to keep on blitzing. But today, he wasn't great, but he was good enough at LSU. Who knows? I mean, these games on the road with fans in the stands, unlike 2020, they're tough to win. And it feels like ever since then, Bama has progressively gotten more. I don't want to say they're bad, but they're just more like everyone else on these road games. And, it's just I don't know what to think, honestly. I feel like I feel like Milroe's the best option, but I mean, if he's not hurt and this is the way he's playing, then I'm concerned. I guess I wouldn't be as worried if I knew that, he was banged up, and that's what my heart tells me. I just don't think he's healthy.
Maybe you're right. And I hate to be the guy who's always so negative on every week when I call in. I don't like to be that way, and I'm sorry about that. But I love Alabama football, and I have for 30 years. And I just don't like the direction we're going in this season. But I do think DeBoer is a fantastic coach. And I think when Milroe leaves and the rest of the seniors leave, we're going to have a national championship in our future. But I've got to go to a baby shower now, which I really don't want to go to, but Grace is making me go to. So always great talking to you, and thanks for taking my call, Mick.
Yeah, come by and see us when we do the tailgate show at Innisfree, you and Grace.
We will, when we're in Tuscaloosa, we'll be sure to do that.
We're going to be there the next two shows. Roll Tide, Adam. Thank you so much. I know it's a big debate right now, over what's going on with Milroe. And I don't look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to have the answers. I just feel like in my mind, I just feel like he's got to be hurt. I mean, I just can't imagine that he's healthy right now, but if he is healthy, then I think Alabama's got some problems. And I hope that I'd feel better about him being nicked up and dealing with some injuries than him struggling, because he's just struggling. And, I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't know for sure, but the first half of the game I thought was terrible. I mean, I just saw it like, man, this is not up to our standard. And then the second half of the game, I was really impressed. I was like, man, I mean, we're starting to run the ball. We're not putting as much pressure on him to have to throw us, out of all those predictable downs. So, anytime you get a 34-0 win against a team that's 6-1 in your conference, you needed that win. It's a confidence thing, but it's also an opportunity with the week off to get healthy. And I think that is going to be really big for Alabama moving forward. But still waiting on Coach DeBoer to jump in his press conference. And when he does, I think we're there now. So I'm going to pull him up, and he's about to get in, and we'll have that. And then we'll hold on the line, guys, because as soon as Coach DeBoer's finished speaking, we'll get the rest of your calls. So there we go right there. Waiting on him to come in. Hey, as you hang out, please give us a thumbs up. That's a way of saying Roll Tide. We're brought to you by mybookie.ag. Use the promo code next round to double your initial deposit. Maybe you had Alabama covering that spread of 16 today. Maybe you had Vandy covering that 18.5. But anyway, mybookie.ag, Major League Baseball, the World Series was amazing last night. All of that at mybookie.ag. And again, thumbs up. That means Roll Tide after a big win. Comment section, keep the comments coming. It's definitely going to be interesting to hear what Coach DeBoer says. I'm curious myself. I know he's got to be pretty pleased with the outcome, but I know that there's a lot of things to work on. But this team's been banged up. I mean, think of all the injuries that they were dealing with, some that end up on the report, some that maybe aren't. But it really felt like a team that when they smelled blood in the water against Missouri, they did a good job of finishing it off. I love seeing Kane Womack fired up for getting the shutout. The turnovers, look, good, bad, or indifference. The turnovers have been really good this year. Some excellent interceptions in this game. Bama putting pressure on the both quarterbacks, and a big win at 34-0. So, he's about to pop in right now. But we'll take your calls. We'll hear from Clint Lamb, who's actually at the stadium at some point on the show. And again, Texas is kind of in position now to beat Vanderbilt. It was a 7-point game. But they're close. They're taking care of business in Nashville. But that Vanderbilt team's a lot better than I think a lot of us thought at the beginning of the year. But anyway, yeah. So as soon as DeBoer jumps in, we'll have that for you. And as we wait on him, let me kind of run through some of the stats for you guys. Bama, first down wise, was only 2 of 9 on third downs, but they had 22 first downs in the game and 486 total yards. Missouri, 3 of 13 on third down. Third down efficiency was a big problem going into this game for Alabama. They were so bad in the month, but they did a good job today. They gave up 15 first downs. The officials were bad again. One of those drives was aided by the bad officiating that we're seeing every week. Passing, only 72 yards passing. Drew Pine came in, and he just really wasn't able to move the offense. Only 215 yards for Milroe, but Bama really tried to establish the run, and they did a good job of that today. Their best running attack of the season, 271 yards, 167 yards for Missouri. Bama still 7 penalties, 85 yards. Missouri 5 of 55, and the time of possession was right around 30 minutes each. 30-01 for the Tigers, 29-44 for Alabama, so pretty even there. Looking at the individual stats, Milroe was 16 of 26. He, like I said, didn't have his best game. Passing, 215 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Throwing, Justice Haynes had a really good game, 8 carries, 79 yards, and a touchdown, a long of 9. Richard Young busted that 63-yard run at the end of the game. Would have loved to have seen him take that all the way to the house, though. Would have been nice to see him accelerate and go the Tony Dorsett, from one side to the other. But Milroe carried it 11 times for 50 yards and a touchdown. Jam Miller had a couple really good runs and 2 touchdowns in the game, 11 carries, 48 yards. Passing wise, Jeremy Bernard was the leading catcher and did a really, really good job. All right, let's go to Coach DeBoer.
Make his opening statement and then take questions. As a reminder, just leave your hands up. We'll try to get to everybody we can.
Yeah, you bet. Every win is important, and like the all week long, and got a chance to give them a chance to go out there and have success. Didn't get a lot of points right away, but kept applying pressure in different ways once we got the field position flipped, especially I think after the interception. The momentum swinging. So, some good team football there. 3 takeaways as I see it, and none as far as giving up. So, there's always areas we can correct and be better. We got to have some better awareness with some things, just, living in the gray area on some stuff, and it's hurting us just from really, taking a big step. And I feel like we're just right on the edge. And so we'll get a chance to hash through those areas, those gray areas that a lot of times lead to penalties or just misexecution. It just can't be that every little thing that is new or happens to us is something we have to learn, a hard lesson from. And it might be just execution of a play. I'm not even talking about penalties all the time. So go back to work. And I know that where the guys' heads are at with what they did this last week, with what happened today. And, not a good time for us to have this week to get ready for LSU and, the bye. You can always find a reason for it to be a good time. And I feel it's a good time just our guys to recover physically and mentally and make the final run.
Thanks, Coach. Start on the right side with Charlie.
Yeah, Coach, just quickly, we saw Cole go down the first quarter. Do you have an update on where things stand with him?
Yeah, lower extremity. Probably going to be some. We'll do more evaluation, but it feels like it's going to be something that might be a little bit of time where he'll be missed. So we'll probably have more on Monday with that, but that's what it feels like right now.
Go left side, Chase.
Obviously, the offense started slow early, but you ended up with almost 500 yards. Were some adjustments made that you can touch on that kind of helped the offense get things going?
Yeah, probably a combination of a few things. Just stay in the course. Want to try to be balanced. Want to try to get different guys' touches. The field position, and just wanting to, get us out of our own territory. Not that you naturally are going to be a little bit more conservative there. but we just couldn't quite make the big play. I think we missed the big one to Kobe, and missed on a couple of third downs that just off of hands, and then there's a penalty that puts you behind the sticks and backs you up a little bit. So I think the field position certainly kept us from having drives, and you have to have explosives if you're going to go the length of the field, and we just missed on those. We knew that was going to be hard when we got in the red zone. We really had to buckle down. That's frustrating when you have to walk away with field goals. But Graham did a nice job, getting a couple there in the first half, and that was good just to get some points. And then the defense just continued to, keep fighting, get the takeaways. They got put in a couple spots just because we couldn't get the field flipped, and they got off the field. So hats off to them. I thought they had a really good week of practice, considering a lot of moving parts over the last 2 to 3 weeks, especially in the back half. And I thought they went out and executed and made no excuses about how much someone was practicing and anything like that. They just knew the work had to be the work, and went out there and did a nice job, made some plays, some diving interceptions and things like that. Made their breaks, and that's what I appreciate.
Back over to the right side. Let's go to Nick.
Yeah, that's 10 takeaways over the past 3 games. Do you feel like the defense has turned the corner?
You're only as good as your last play, right? And it's only as good as your last game. And so there are things you make sure that you do well, and that's something that is certainly there's some good vibes when it comes to taking the football away defensively. They're hunting it, they're anticipating a little bit. So a little bit more of attacking mindset, but not so much on their heels, and just making every yard count. Wanted them to really get that shot out there. That's why I called the timeout. If there was any type of question at all, wanted to let us get our feet in the ground and be able to play football. And so wanted that for them, because I know they've been working extremely hard and just staying the course, and appreciate the effort today. Really kept us right there to where once the offense then got it rolling better and found ways there, especially the latter half of the second quarter, to where we really started, playing a full team game.
Back right, Tony.
Sticking on the defense, you were able to hold them to 3 of 13 on third down. And then also you had that 4th down stop. Just what did you see from the 3rd down defense? And then how much do you think you can build off of both that and that you said preserving the shutout with that stop?
Yeah, you're always looking for the things and the wins that you're doing. I know we have our goals and what we think we need to do each and every week, but just flat out having that each week be something that we can hang our hat on, whether it's takeaways or now, after today's game, just getting off the field on 3rd down. Those are momentum builders. Those are the positives that you can take from today, apply it, and everyone kind of looks at each other and believes that you can go make that play and get that stop. And so that is definitely something we can build off of. And now they just know that they're capable of it. Now you got to go line up and do it again.
Go to Steve in the middle of the room.
Coach, you were able to run the football, especially right here, Coach, in the second half, that thunderous run by Justice Haynes.
Yeah.
What kind of juice did that bring the team, especially on the sideline, seeing him do that?
He had a couple. Were you talking about the one going from my left to right? And then was it the touchdown? Yeah, that's the one that sticks out in my mind too. There was a hit in there, and thunderous is probably a good word to put it, because I can hear it, and for him to stay on his feet, keep the legs moving, bounce off, and then guys downfield blocking, great effort. That's something I see from them. The want to is there, and to see it pay off in that type of way, and then have guys making plays. There's some momentum things and things that we can build off from there too. But that was really, not just fun for him. It was fun for everyone to see, that physical type of run. And, Jam, I thought, did a nice job on some runs there too at different times. So that 1-2 punch right there is, took a good step in the right direction.
Second row on the left, Colin.
With Jam and Justice finding that success, did you feel like Jalen kind of had a little bit of weight off his shoulders in terms of making the offense go? How did he kind of respond to kind of that?
Yeah, you bet. No, I think that's how. I mean, every quarterback needs a good run game, right? And so the whole weight of everything isn't on one guy's shoulders. And there's still even more things that we can do better, and we got to stay out of situations where our backs are to the wall. Like we can't be in 1st and 25 or whatever it was, on just a simple play where we get 12. And really, not that they don't matter, because there's a purpose to why they're cutting, but we can't have illegal chop blocks. We got to be clean across the board, hit that 12 yards, help Jalen out. It's an easy, nice throw, gets him into a rhythm to start a drive. Those are the type of things we got to help him. We can't have someone substituting and a route be run, and it sometimes, he doesn't make the throw that you want or he wants, but then there's other times too, other guys just got to make sure they stay the course and run the route the way it's need to be run. And everything we just got to keep learning from. The things that didn't quite click, it's really close. And, just go back to work, make those corrections, communicate, keep talking. And that's what I saw on the sideline. I saw, some receivers and Jay Mill continue to just try to iron things out, and with Cole being out, that moves some guys around. Kobe, we got even Ryan in a spot or two, probably that he hasn't practiced much. And so just, finding that level of being in sync, at the elite level is still not there yet, but I do feel like we did some things, taking a step forward, but we got to continue to take the pressure off him to where every play isn't on him, run or pass.
Go to Wyatt.
Your secondary did a good job keeping Missouri's receivers in check. How has that room grown and developed throughout this season? And then also Bray Hubbard filling in for Keon Sapp today.
Yeah, excited for Bray to have this opportunity. The guys really do believe in him. He works extremely hard. And then just across the board, every snap that our young guys take, from ZB to Bach to, all of them. There's a lot of new faces in there working together, and Malachi and Damani really kind of being the staples that have been pretty consistent. Today we had some guys that rotating in at nickel and things like that too. So just love the way that they continue to get better. I think there's things that they can build on again today, but there's some tough kids, really not just putting it out on Saturday, but this week, they were able to be on the field a little bit more. And anytime they can do that, they understand how important practice is to build that confidence so they can go out and execute on a higher level each and every week. And that was something I actually felt better about this week than I have really the last 2 or 3 weeks, is that I saw the reps in practice because we were a little bit healthier. We're just healthy enough to be able to go out there and get some of those reps in. That showed us, there can be a trust in each other and in our execution.
2 more questions, starting all the way in the back right of the room.
Coach, Malachi's a guy that obviously took a lot of criticism a couple of weeks ago. What does it say about him that he's been able to bounce back, move on from that, and have 3 takeaways now in the last 2 games and play as well as he has?
Yeah, I think there's just, there's moments that you go through, anyone does. And, that was a moment that, we don't want to, I know he's not going to want to go back to, I know how he feels about it. And I know what he's done since then, and really a lot of growth, not just in a situation that might come up like that, but growth, the passion, you're never going to question the passion, the way he is in practice. Sometimes you don't know if he's mad or happy, he's bringing it. We got a couple guys like that, Tyler Booker, they play to the end of the whistle. And then in practice, they are just taking it upon themselves to be those vocal leaders. And so they're pouring, everything into it. They're bringing their A game every single day in practice to help will this team to take those next steps and be better each and every day. And so there's a lot of growth that he's had. You love seeing growth be rewarded. And so, yeah, I'm very happy for him.
Finish up with Jonathan on the left side.
Hey, Coach, you've played in 4 really close games before this one. So first, was it nice to be in a game where you had a cushion like this? And then second, how do you think this can maybe propel your team into the final month of the season?
Yeah, I thought there was a level of physicality that we had today that on both sides. I think there's been always times each side of the ball has had their moments, but I thought there was a little different level of physicality, and we knew we really felt like, they were a well-rounded team. I know they lost their quarterback there, but even when he was in there, we were doing some really good things defensively. And so the run game has been something that really gets them going. And I thought we were around the football. I know at the end they popped a couple when we had some different guys in there, but I'm really appreciative of the physicality we brought to the table, and the execution, just being where they're supposed to be. The play action didn't really get a chance to open up off of any run. So guys were in their spots, eyes were in the right places. Just discipline with their jobs and doing their job at a higher level. So always room to improve, and I know we're going to continue to do that. Yeah, thank you.
All right, there you go. Coach DeBoer with his post-game press conference, and we got an opportunity to hear from him. And we'll talk to you guys some more. Clint Lamb's going to jump on with us here shortly as well. But Coach DeBoer got to be happy about that win. I don't think anybody is complaining about a 34-0 shutout. This team's hurt. So were they. And that's what life in the SEC is like. And Missouri is honestly better than I thought they were at the beginning of the year. And you guys know I wasn't never a big Missouri guy, but their quarterback's tough. He's tough. Brady Cook, nothing but respect for that guy. You go out there and play. And I mean, it took 2 shots to the hand and a bad ankle to knock him out of the game, but they didn't have a chance without him. Drew Pine saw him at Notre Dame. He's no good. And he was no good again today. Comment section, keep it going. And let's get back to the phone lines and talk to you guys as we break down this Alabama-Missouri game. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Woo! It's Chris from Leeds, baby. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing a lot better than I was last game.
Hell yeah! I mean, I am too, man. I'm glad. I don't just call in when we lose. I call in when we win. I gotta celebrate. And if you thought I was drunk last week, boy, I tell you what, we about to tie one on, son.
What do you drink? What's your football game day drink of choice?
Today was Evan Williams' green label.
Okay.
I ain't got paid this week, but it's still good if you mix it right.
Yeah, it's still good.
Yeah. I was listening to Coach DeBoer, and I could hear. Did you get your dog to lay down?
Yeah. Did you hear?
Did you hear me getting him to lay down? Yeah.
He needs to lay down
because I'm a bit of a dog. I'm a bit of a dog whisperer myself, if you remember correctly, and I can help you.
I don't hit him. I just tell him to lay down because he'll bark on the show. I know you guys don't want that.
No, I mostly I do psychological attacks on mine. I just kind of I think at it, But so I'm gonna get back to the game because I tell you what, boy, I want to apologize to Milroe because I was one of his biggest haters, and it I think it's coaching, to be honest, because after in the second half, he looked better. We were running the ball and taking pressure off of him, and he's running his legs. He's getting on it. He's getting it down the field. So I don't know, man. I still got hope. I got hope, big hopes for us. Yeah, man. I'm just happy, man. Y'all ain't never heard me happy. Man, I'm happy as hell, man.
Oh my goodness. I got I got one of Big Sexy's boards, like digital board here that I just got. I hate that I got it, but because of how I got it, he died, but I got it, and I'm getting it kind of set up right now. So that's why I still don't know all the. I guess I had something off where you guys could hear me, but I got a great dog. He's rambunctious. When we win, he gets really excited. He wants to jump up and give me a high five and all that kind of stuff. When we lose, he's like, he bites.
I feel bad for him this year. I feel bad for him this year. He ain't been all jumping around every damn week. He's pent up. He's like a dog in heat. He's in a cage. He's trying to get out tonight. Let that dog run, man. Let that dog run out. Dude, let him out the damn door. Let him run out there.
See, what I want with
I think we
is I want him to be that dog that I can take to the brewery and he won't jump on everybody. He'll just kind of lay like he is right now. When you go to the brewery, you go to like the restaurants that have the dogs and they're just kind of chilling out. They got like a little bowl of water and they're not trying to, they just act like they've been there before. I'm trying to get him to that point. Right. So
that's the same damn thing my wife says about me. So I can't go no damn brewery. I'm jumping on everybody. Hell. But I am a little worried about LSU because, I hate to be Deb Downer real quick, but when we had that the punt and there was the offset, I guess they weren't offsetting penalties, but they was penalties, and it looked like Coach DeBoer didn't know whether to take the penalty, what was going. He looked confused. I saw on the dang replay the assistant coach, somebody was over there trying to tell him, take this, take that. I thought that's the head coach's decision.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how every coach does it, but a lot of these guys have someone like
you can't do math,
like a baseball. They have like a bench coach in baseball, and you just have somebody that you're kind of thinking about a lot of other things. And then somebody's just kind of giving you like, hey, think about this, or, this, whatever it is. I mean, he's a lot younger than Coach Saban. I remember when when Coach Saban first got to Alabama, he wasn't perfect. I remember a game against Ole Miss where there was a play that they were out of bounds and he didn't get, he didn't challenge it. And, we still won, but it wouldn't have been as close. No one's perfect. I hope that, honestly, I hope that we get healthy and he starts to figure things out, because you're right. That LSU game in 2 weeks is going to be for the chance to go to the college football playoff, in my opinion. I think the rest of the games are very winnable.
He looked rattled a little bit against Tennessee and Neyland Stadium. I ain't never been there, but LSU is much more, very, very worse place to play than that. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be a night game. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
The boy might have to take off both shirts. I swear. You better wear 3.
Well, Chris, roll tide, brother. Let me
boys,
get some
I'm gonna
other
get
calls.
off here. I'm gonna get hey, brother. I'm gonna call and I'm gonna get another drink. And I got one word to say: roll tide.
Roll tide, man. Roll tide. Enjoy that green label, man. And we'll talk to you next show. Thank you for calling in. All right, let's go back to the phone lines again and get you guys on. Who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Mike, and I'm in Austin.
What's up, Mike?
Not much. Hey, that was a great game, and we needed that victory. I'm very proud of our football team. Got us back on track, going in the right direction where we need to be. And it was a good victory on both sides of the ball.
Right.
But it was kind of a must-win game for us. That's kind of what I've been saying leading up to the game. So I'm real happy that it came out. We got the score that we did. So it's very, very, very good homecoming day. Very good day for our team and for our coach. So I'm just very, very happy right now about the victory that we did need.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I'm with you on all that. I thought the first half we didn't look great on offense. I thought some of the officiating calls were bad, but I like the way that we came out in the second half. And I also like the fact that they cared about the shutout. They took pride in that. I thought that was great. Watching us get the shutout was fantastic.
Exactly right. See, that's what, leading up to this game, I told myself and anybody that listened on all the call-in shows that this game is going to show us a lot about Alabama. Because in the past 2 or 3 weeks, we kind of been through some adversity, as we know. We were kicking ourselves as we were down. Whole different topic. But so we desperately needed this game just to get back on track. I would say it's a must-win for us. It's just a must-win. So that's kind of like I mentioned. So that's why I'm glad that we got it in the fashion that you're talking about. And just on the topic, one thing I just want to tell my fellow Bama fans and Bama Nation, everybody out there, that in this new day college football, I don't think anybody's ever going to go undefeated. It's not like it was, just in recent years past. And a lot of times we didn't go undefeated and still won the trophy. So
right.
guys and gals, and when we had a little dip like we did last couple of weeks, let's please not turn into Auburn. Let's don't kill ourselves and assassinate our coach and doubt everything. Yeah, we got some problems on both sides of the ball. We got a first-year coach. We're doing awesome, guys. Let's not turn into Auburn, man. We needed this game. We got this game. Let's support our team and support our coach. I just felt the need to say that, man, because the last couple of weeks, we've been brutal on our own team. I haven't been, but a lot of people have been brutal on our team, and we got the right to be so, man. But I think the Vandy game was a fluke. I think it was a fluke. And anybody could have lost in Tennessee. Tennessee's a good team. Anybody could have lost that.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, it was up in the air. There you go. Thought we lost you there for a second. You got to be positive. I mean, like you never want to shortchange a win, a shutout win. And the other thing is that Bama lives to fight another game. You know, they're still in the mix for the college football playoff. And you talked about teams going undefeated. Those days are over. They actually play tough schedules now. Some of those, the Georgia played 2 back-to-back week schedule seasons. They won back-to-back championships. Alabama had some years like that too. And those days are over, man. I mean, like, you got to go out and play. It's like Mike Leach said, I was a little reluctant to get to this point where we were going to have a college football playoff. I kind of liked it the old way, but he said it, look, every other football league, you have a playoff to determine the champion. And I guess I always liked that the regular season meant so much. It doesn't mean as much anymore. You can lose games. Now we're at the point where we can't lose any more games, but and get in unless, something crazy happened, but I don't see that happening. I think you got to win out. But you're right. It's not perfection anymore. It's get to the playoff and then get hot and win it. And that's how football is played at the NFL level. That's how they play it at the high school level. That's how they play it every other level of college. So, why wouldn't they have it at this level? And they do. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see how it plays out this year. Any final thoughts from Austin?
Well said. No, I'm a Bama fan. I'm just trapped here in Texas. I've got to work out here. It's rough, trust me. But hey, I just want to say I'm kind of new to your channel, and I saw that thing you did for that workmate you had, that Elmo guy you had working with you. And I just want to say that to you and everybody you work with there, my heart goes out to y'all. And I know he's got to be up there in heaven smiling down at the beloved Crimson Tide. But, hey, man, keep up the good work there to YouTube channel. I'll listen when I can. And y'all take care. Good luck and roll Tide. Stay positive, guys.
Yeah, roll Tide. Thanks, man. Thanks. Out in Austin. And, not just a workmate, but a great friend, too. And somebody that, I like to say, there was a lot more than just the guy that you saw on here, and we miss him a lot. I mean, the phone's not ringing as much as it used to. I'll put it like that. And he always had something funny to say. So we desperately miss him and think about him all the time. But thank you for throwing a shout out to him. All right, let's go back to the phone lines again and get your calls in as we talk about Alabama's win. Who's this and where you calling from?
Hey, Mick, roll Tide. Heath from Huntsville.
What's up, Heath? Good to hear from you again this week, man. Roll Tide, brother.
Roll Tide, man. Hey, I will excuse you as putting my name as Help from Huntsville last week.
That's our producer.
No, it's all good, brother. Hey, now, everybody said a bunch of stuff that I agree with, some things I disagree with. My biggest thing is right now, if you're going to let me get on my soapbox, if Jimmy Dunaway will stop spending time on figuring out where he can put another commercial, or if LT will stop looking at his receding hairline, and even if Brown would try to stop figuring out why he's poor putting every hole, maybe they can help with this Crimson subscription stuff. Give you some money to get something where we can hear Clint as well, like a full interactive kind of call. We hear you, we hear the callers, but we can't hear Clint.
Yeah.
When he's on here or anybody else. So anyway, I'm just thinking you know, maybe they need to do $2 the first month if that's what it takes.
Figure out how to do that. The way that the phone system works, it's for some reason you guys can't hear them. I don't understand the technology a whole lot. Maybe there's got to be a way to fix it. I just don't know how.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just goofing around, man. Hey, so which leads me to my other thing where the last caller talked about Brett. And for some reason, something within inside my bones tells me that any Alabama fan that has that's passing away now is going to the pearly gates, and Brett's there to offer his famous, what was it, all-star breakfast, the 2 scrambled eggs, sausage, hash browns, covered, smothered, and chunked. And I think they've renamed it to the Roll Star. I mean, the All-Star. The All-Star Roll Tide. I don't know what they're going to call it up there, but I think Brett's up there just saying Roll
The big
Tide.
sexy All-Star.
This match has got like, I think he's up there with, you know, like he may be neighbors with Bear Bryant.
I hope so.
Like, I don't know. Like, he's such a great guy, man. And the only thing that I ask, and I know this call's all over the place, I'm sorry, but I've partaken in a lot of drinks.
What did you have
today,
to
but
drink?
I would ask you,
Heath, what was your drink of choice tonight? You got to tell me this.
okay, starting at breakfast, mimosas.
Okay.
My girlfriend had a Bloody Mary. I had mimosas, like a whole pitcher. Mick Ultras. I've had some high noons. Back on Mick Ultras. I'm trying to stay off the liquor.
Yeah, I hear you.
So,
Where do you
I'm a
go
beer
out
guy.
up there?
Yeah.
I spent some time in Huntsville. Where's the spot?
Oh man, Easy. Easy's a great place over by the Target on 72. You got the Providence area, which is right there where I live. So, I mean, there's good places downtown if you want to deal with the cops, but we stay away from those places.
Right.
Nah, but anyway, hey, one question I'd like, or one request I have, even if you can't do it every time, I would really love it. I love it like everybody else did. Maybe we could do like the big sexy intro, as maybe now doing it as the big sexy extra. So before you go off the air, maybe you could play a song.
Yeah, you miss it, huh? I miss it too, man. I miss it too.
Yeah, man, he's such a good dude.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all we want's good. I love when Alabama wins. I love watching all the stuff and hearing everybody talk about, all the experts, which I'm not. But man, Big Face, he just brought a different level to everything. Like he just kept it mellow, funny. I remember whenever he was in Jasper, I thought, look at the video, put a hat on, that. Like that little padded hat he put on.
Yeah.
I forget which game it was, but it was after the game. Like he called in and he FaceTimed her. But he was just a good dude.
Yeah, we all miss him, man. Well, thanks for Heath, thanks for calling back again, and I'll play it for you guys. I'll play it for you guys before I get off here. I've got his board, and his mom gave it to me, and this bobblehead, I don't know if you can see it, but he called me. He knows I'm a big, I like Margaritaville and Jimmy Buffett. He was so proud of that bobblehead doll, and I remember thinking like, okay, and then and then all of a sudden he passed away, and I thought, well, I got to have that bobblehead doll now, just because. So thanks for the call. And definitely appreciate you calling and all of you guys. Waiting on Clint to jump in here. And when he does, we're going to kind of get into a lot of this stuff that happened in this football game, including Alabama with a 34 to nothing win. So, definitely a good night for Alabama. and an opportunity for Alabama to go into this off week with with a chance to get healthy. And I think that's one of the biggest things for Alabama is just getting healthy again, and honestly, just being able to be healthy going into this LSU game. And we're watching the Tigers tonight and trying to figure out exactly, what that situation's going to be. And I can't figure out if it's better for Alabama if Alabama, if LSU wins or if it's Texas A&M. So anyway, let's go back to the phone lines again and talk to you. Clint's going to jump in at some point. And again, Heath, thank you for calling. Who's this and where you calling from?
Hey, Mick, it's Brandon from DC.
Brandon, what's up, man? Good to talk to you.
Hey, great to hear from you, man. I've been praying for you, so I'm glad to hear you're in good spirits, man.
I'll be honest, it was the first week wasn't good. Just to be honest.
I believe it.
But I feel a lot better now. I mean, I'm not happy about anything, but it's lost a lot of sleep and it was emotional, man. We're just great friends. I mean, forget about all the football stuff. He's just he's my best friend, off the air.
He was a great human, man. I'm so sorry again for your loss. And again, grief happens in different spots. So just grieve how you're grieving, man. We love you. And I'm so happy that you're coming back and you're sticking with it. But these days you need to take off, man. You already, we got full support from us and we're always going to be here for you. So, take care of your family, man. Make sure you grieve the way you need to and just, make sure you love up on everyone, man. And
dude, I'll tell you what, Brandon,
out.
this, I didn't take any days off. And I think that like just kind of going through the normal routine helped me. And I don't know how everybody else deals with that stuff. But for me, it's just show up, do your thing, and that's what I did. And, but I had a lot of friends reach out, a lot of his friends that are now my friends. Going to his funeral was great, just because I got around other people that feel the same way as me. But it's honestly, like you sit there at these football games and we'll call each other every time something goes wrong or if something goes right, but mostly when things go wrong. And then, you scream at it, what's going on here, or like watch each other game. So I miss that, man. But it's good to hear your voice and all of you guys. I appreciate it, man. And the prayers help, man. They do. No doubt.
Absolutely, man. And we're going to continue praying for you and we're going to continue hopefully giving you some good laughs. And fortunately, look, again, it was like a quadruple on top of stuff. Last week was just crazy, man. Yeah. So football is irrelevant there for that last week. I'm glad you're getting back to some normalcy. And luckily we had a really, I would say a solid win. We had a win in the right direction.
Yeah.
Today was a win in the right direction.
Yeah. What'd you think?
So a couple of things. Yeah. So a couple of things, man. Let me start off with the bright spots. Our defense, man, they came to play. And here's going to be something that is a little controversial. Bray Hubbard is bringing something a little bit different than Keon. I'm not saying that he's better than Keon. It's just Keon is a great athlete. I think that he has a want to tackle, but Bray just has a physicality about him, and he's an underrated athlete, man. Like this guy was a great athlete coming out of high school, and so seeing him to be able to have the range. And again, Malachi has stepped it up. Like Malachi has taken it upon himself to say, I got to hold myself accountable. I need to be a team captain. I've got to make sure I'm playing hard on every down and making sure that I'm doing my part. So you just saw a different tenacity, man, especially up front. LT Overton is become something, right? Like he's setting the edge. He's setting the tone. Our D tackles are being stout against the run. Like Missouri is not a bad team, even though they're down to the damn second and third string quarterback. They're not a terrible team, but they're overrated, right? They shouldn't even be ranked. If I'm just being quite honest with you, but it's good for us because we'll take the win against it. But I just love the tenacity from our defense. And on that 4th and goal.
Brandon, did we lose you? See if Brandon pops back in. He said on that 4th and goal, and then I don't know where he went. So, I think we lost Brandon. We'll try to get him back on the line. I don't know what the deal is, but it kind of feels like the phone lines haven't been solid tonight. So, Brandon, if you're listening, he's probably still talking. Just hold on. I'm going to try to get the phone lines back up. But a great call. And as I sit here and look, no idea why the phone lines are going out. Anyway, the bottom line is for Alabama is that, you win the games the way that you got to win them, and you play with the guys that you have to play, so I don't have a problem with the fact that you're missing some guys and they're missing some guys. I don't think that you look at it and go, well, we beat their backup quarterback. To me, that's who played in the game. And I think Milroe's been banged up. And I think that, that Alabama hasn't been 100%. I love the way that Jeremy Bernard played today. I thought it was just some of his catches. Jam Miller, one of his best games. And,
Goodbye.
so, those two guys to me were big for Alabama. Clint's about to jump on too. So as I try to get these phone lines going back again, just take a look at the, at the third down efficiency. Bama just 2 of 9 in the game. And I mean, that's an area where they have got to improve. I mean, there's just, to me, that is one area where I look at this team and I go, moving forward, that's got to get better. And that's why I wonder, exactly how is healthy as Milroe, and I feel like that there's some issues right now in that area. And I know it's up for debate, because he's not coming up on the injury report. And because of that, you have to assume that he's healthy, and maybe he is healthy. Maybe it's just me. Or, maybe he's, maybe he really is injured, but, still trying to get these phone lines going. And, for those of you that are hanging right now, just hang on and we'll, we'll get back to those as soon as I can get those up. So Brandon, if you're on, just kind of sit there and wait, and then, we'll get this thing fixed. But, it's not like Missouri did much better. 3 of 13 from third down, coming into this ball game, Alabama, was a team that had struggled on third down both sides of the ball. I mean, really bad through the month. So a shutout was definitely something that will help those stats a lot. We talked about Kane Womack, whose name came up for the job at Southern Miss, where his dad had coached for a while. And, I don't know that there was a lot of people going into this game. I mean, it just felt like there were some people that were going, hey, that may be a better fit than Tuscaloosa, just because of the struggles that the defense had this year. So, maybe, kind of having a little bit more success on, on defense and pitching a shutout will give this team some momentum going in to the LSU game. But Nussmeier is turned into one of the better quarterbacks in the country. And so for Alabama, I mean, they're going to have their work cut out for them, when they eventually do get to Baton Rouge here in, and not next Saturday, but the following Saturday. So but I don't think that you could have picked a better time for a day where you get some time off. I mean, this team feels banged up. And, and to me, the second off week comes at a great time. And you give yourself some momentum going into this LSU game, because it's going to be a war. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? LSU and setting up for a field goal right now, taking on Texas A&M. And so, it's a big game for them. All right, let me see if I can get the phone lines going again. I apologize, Brandon. If you want to call back in, I'm going to put you up as soon as I see you. And it's kicked out again. So I don't know why the phone lines are messed up right now, but it's, for some reason, it's an issue with the link. So let me see if I can get Clint on, and then we'll get the phone lines going. And then when we do, we'll start taking calls again. So I think it's an issue with the phone logs and not necessarily the anything that I'm doing here. But win for Alabama, individual stats, we kind of started looking at those big plays in the game. We still have to give our players of the game. It's just going to be interesting because it's definitely, I wouldn't think going to be Jalen Milroe. And I think it's going to be some guys that might not have gotten player of the games yet this year, game balls or whatever you want to call it. But when Brady Cook was in the game, he was 7 of 12, 30 yards. And you could tell that the Tigers offense was moving. Bama put some pressure on him, but twice he threw the ball and hit guys in the helmet. And the second one took him out of the game. So he had the ankle injury, and then that happened. Marcus Carroll ran for 80 yards on 17 carries. I thought that Missouri had some momentum in the first half, and then, the second half of the game was they struggled mightily to kind of move the ball. And, it really affected them when Pine came in, and Pine was definitely overmatched. So Justice Haynes, I thought played a really good game for Alabama. And maybe his best game for the Crimson Tide. So the two really important runs in the contest, and two runs that I thought kind of set the tone for Alabama. And you could tell that this game that Alabama worked hard to stick with the run, which is something that I didn't think they did a very good job of, kind of leading into this contest. It kind of felt like it was something that they came off of too early. Milroe still got hit a lot. I wasn't super impressed with the offensive line. The offensive line is becoming kind of a disappointment this year, because I really thought that this was going to be the year that the offensive line was kind of the strength of the team, and we're finding out that they're average. Booker not included in that. He's been great, but watching Pritchett miss blocks, watching Milroe get blindsided, you feel for the guy. I mean, he's taken a beating out there. But the thing you got to say about Milroe is that despite all of that, he just continues to stay positive. I mean, I saw him shaking everybody's hand coming off the field at the end of the first half. Went over and congratulated Kane Womack for for the shutout. He's been a total team player. He hasn't obviously played his best football, but the positivity, what he brings to the table, with the leadership, that you respect that a lot, as this thing, continues to go. And now, LSU's got a 3-0 lead. LSU's going to, kind of have this matchup with Texas A&M and figure out where they go from here as well. So it doesn't appear that we're going to be able to get the phone lines back up again. So that's kind of where we are. Wish that Clint's not going to be able to jump on with us. So I'll just keep it here with you guys, and we'll kind of take a look at the box score and do all of that. Hopefully something happens with these phones where we can get them back going again. But it's like the phone service here just went out. So, oh well. All right. Receiving wise, great game for some guys who haven't gotten a whole lot of love. I thought that Cole Adams was a guy that they talked about in the post game. He was injured, and it sounds like he's going to be hurt for a while. But Jeremy Bernard was really good again. 5 catches, 82 yards. He was kind of that middle of the field threat. He made not only some great catches, but some runs after. This is a trend now where Bernard is becoming one of the best receivers on the team. Him and Ryan Williams kind of more of a down sideline guy, a deeper threat. And then Bernard doing a lot of stuff in the middle of the field. He's so quick finding the openings. 5 of 82 for Bernard. Ryan Williams, 4 of 53. Targeted, not 20 times in this game. I like the fact that they spread the ball out a lot better. CJ Dupree had a couple of catches for 27 yards. Kendrick Law had a couple of catches for 17 yards. So 27 for Dupree, the tight end. Law had a couple of catches for 17 yards, and he also ran the ball for 21 yards as well. So Law got in there using his speed. Ryan Robbie Oots caught the ball at the beginning of the game. I love watching Oots. He like ducks that ball down and just kind of truck people. But Emmanuel Henderson, 1 catch, 28 yards, almost scored a touchdown on his. So those were big there. On the defensive side of the ball, Jahad Campbell with 8 tackles, the tight end. I thought he had a pretty good game, 4 solos, had a sack. Bray Hubbard, we talked about him, Brandon, before our phone lines went out. And he does bring a lot to the table. 7 catches, 7 tackles, 4 solos. He had just a good game. It was fun watching him out there. He even had an interception. Him, Malachi Moore, and Quay Russo's interception was great. What an awesome play by him. Out there making plays. But Deontay Lawson, 5 tackles, 2 solos. Bama's defense pitches the shutout, and this is for them. This is something that they desperately needed. Special teams, burn up again, helps Alabama. You get yourself in a spot where you need a good punt. He's been able to do that. Averaged about 50 yards per kick. Very, very, very good punter. 5 for 246 yards total. And then Graham Nicholson with 2 kicks, 2 field goals, 4 extra points. So he was 6 for 6 kicking the ball in the game, had 10 total points. And, at the beginning of the game, it was 3-0 for a while. Those field goals were a big part of the success that Alabama had. So just kind of looking at that. Now, time to give out those game balls. For me, I got to look at this and go, okay, who's going to get this game ball from me, right? Who am I giving it to? On defense, I'm going with Bray Hubbard. The guy, everybody keeps messaging me about this guy. Like, hey, man, like Mr. Football in Mississippi, for over in Ocean Springs area, right? Which isn't too far from where we're at right now. But an interception, stepping up for Sab. When Keon gets back, you're going to have another player with experience that you're going to be able to use. So that's a good thing for Alabama. But you got to give really the defensive coordinator, Kane Womack, a game ball too. I mean, he was under pressure all week. Felt like the Tennessee game wasn't his worst, but they weren't able to make the stops at the end when they need it. And then in this ball game, when it came down to the end of the game, Bama, tried to get the shutout, and they stopped them on 4th down at the goal line, and I thought that was a really big moment. So the defensive coordinator gets one, and so does Hubbard, who is out there making a difference. But the entire defense was great. Offensive side of the football, it's got to go to Jeremy Bernard. 5 catches, 82 yards. He's able to get open, make catches, do some things. And that's for Alabama exciting, a player that you can count on in these situations. So Bernard with the game ball for me anyway on the offensive side of the ball. But I thought that Jam Miller and Justice Haynes both deserve kind of a recognition as well, a tip of the cap. Haynes with 8 carries and not 100 yards, but close, 79 yards total, a touchdown. And then Jam Miller with a couple electric runs, 11 carries, 48 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So both of those guys did well for Alabama. And I love the fact that Alabama kept with the run finally. They took some pressure off of Milroe, and then second half of the ball game, Milroe came out with a lot of rhythm, and with that, Alabama was able to roll. They had some runs, and Milroe could actually fake the run and get the defense to kind of bite, because we did run the ball so much. So that's a good thing for Alabama. And then special teams game ball goes to Nicholson, who had the 2 kicks or 2 field goals and 4 extra points in this win for Alabama. So that's where we are right now. Now, time where we take a look at what's going on around the rest of the SEC. And LSU just scored after a Texas A&M fumble, so they're up now 10-0 in that ball game. But let's take a look at the SEC, because some interesting finals today. to say the least. The other game in progress, by the way, Kentucky leads lowly Auburn 3-0 in the first quarter at Lexington. All right, final in Nashville. Vanderbilt hung in there with Texas A&M. 27-24 the final. This Vanderbilt team was ranked 25th coming in, and they didn't do anything to give anyone any other expectations other than this team's for real. And they're a team that is going to give obviously some fits. They beat Alabama and they lose to Texas, but overmatched. I mean, think about the amount of money spent on these two teams. And, and it came down to some turnovers in this game, but Texas with a win over Vandy, they look beatable. And Vanderbilt, I mean, you got to give it, they get over with a win like that. Ole Miss back on track with a 26-14 win over Oklahoma. Don't be surprised when Oklahoma doesn't make a coaching change. Will Venables is in big trouble there at his alma mater. They're just not able to compete in this conference. They're 1-4 now in the SEC, and they just get raced right out of Ole Miss. The offense isn't doing anything. Their defense isn't any good, and they have very high expectations to the Sooners. I wonder. I mean, maybe he makes it through the season because he's an alumni, but not. When you see what Texas is doing, if you're at Oklahoma, you're not real happy about that. And then Arkansas blows out Mississippi State 58-25. Arkansas, one of those teams that is starting to find themselves on the offensive side of the ball. They already beat Tennessee this year. They're dangerous. They scored double digits every single quarter of that football game, 17, 14, 10, 17 for the Hogs. And, they're not going to, I wouldn't guess that they're going to be in the running for Atlanta, but they're one of those teams with that Bobby Petrino offense that is really fun to watch and worth keeping an eye on. Now in the top 25, the slipper fell out for the Navy midshipmen. They got hammered today by Notre Dame. So the Irish beat them 51-14. So they'll fall out of the top 25, but it was a great story, Navy. Army and Navy were both undefeated coming into action today. Other games in the top 25 that are in progress right now. Number 6, Miami leading Florida State 14-7. At the end of the first quarter, Wisconsin with a 3-0 lead over Penn State. And Oregon earlier today hammered Illinois 38-9. Oregon's the number 1 team in the country, and they really are playing like that. I watched this one. Ohio State hung on to beat Nebraska 21-17. And then BYU over UCF 37-24. Indiana's still undefeated. They're now 31-17. They'll probably be in the top 10 at the end of the week, with their victory. So Alabama's off next week. So, I mean, we'll kind of go into we'll have the coverage for you. We'll be on tomorrow to talk about the Crimson Tide with the Sunday rollback. And then next week will probably be a little slower. I mean, just kind of seeing how things progress. It's like that. And then the week after that, you really ramp things up because it's LSU week and Alabama needs to get healthy. No other way of looking at it. They just got to get healthy. So anyway, well, look, all you guys, I apologize for the phone lines. Not sure what the deal was, but we went out right in the middle of Brandon's call. Thanks, like, and subscribe. And a couple things I do want to remind you that we're brought to you by mybookie.ag. Use the promo code NEXTROUND to double your initial deposit and take advantage of covercrimson.com. Right now, tomorrow, the $1 first month deal's over. If you do the annual subscription, let me show you this. You get this guy right here, the Cover Crimson t-shirt. But the dollar deal ends tomorrow. And the reason why you want to do this dollar deal, if you're one of these guys that loves being on the message board, you like cutting up, you're going to have a special medallion when the site's updated, which they're working on right now. And when it is updated, the people that are there from the beginning are going to have like a different medallion than everybody else. So you're going to want that. I mean, it's pretty cool to kind of get that recognition. So anyway, thanks for hanging with us, guys. And again, Bama with a win, 34-0. Good win for them. They are back on track again, and they'll be able to sit back and get healthy as we head towards the LSU game. Roll